I love this woman and I told her I love you, but if you have to go, I respect that. I'm not going to hold you hostage and I'm not going to manipulate situations and tell you everything's going to be okay and I'm going to handle it. I'm going to handle everything and I know everything's going to be okay. I've never felt this powerful, like in my rooted man and female side of things. So it's like, yes.
The king is there. Do you want to tell us a little bit about who you were when you came into the initiation?
Okay. I think the best way to describe it was I was completely lost.
I used to be such a douche.
I had a very, extremely physically traumatic childhood.
Before the initiation, that I had a relationship with sex that I wanted to shift. Several months prior, stopped watching porn and really stopped masturbating, like completely, because there was a numbing, like I wasn't doing it for self-pleasure, I was doing it to numb. And so when I realized that, I was like, okay, this isn't how I want to exist.
So what was happening for me, I guess, was I was stuck in a 10-year rut, a decade-long addiction to pain medication off and on that spiraled because my life, I was so unhappy. At the start it was for the right reasons, so the doctors said, but ultimately it became my escape.
Because I made the analogy of being in the backseat of the car with no one driving it, and that really was pretty much, now looking back, exactly true. That I had kind of given up on trying to drive my life, and I was just sitting in the backseat hoping it doesn't crash somewhere. Like halfway through the initiation, that I realized that was really scary. That was really, really frightening to understand how much I had just kind of given up on myself.
What was your biggest light bulb, Carl? What was really the big moment that you thought, oh, whoa, that just shifted everything?
I think it's your inner feminine awakening. That was like the most amazing reframing I had experienced so far in my life. From this thing where I felt like waking up every morning for half a year, 3/4 of a year with anxiety and pressure and stuff, and saying like this is something which should go away and has to leave. Reframing this is now the inner feminine. That was amazing. Like that changed so much in the way I perceived this inner stress, and it kind of opened up totally new approach and kind of an acknowledgement for myself as well.
Early on in the journey, like I reached out and was talking about the feminine. I didn't really understand that, I had a preconceived idea about what that meant, but it wasn't sitting right with me. And then I reached out and you guys set me straight.
It's simple. There's a lot of guys out there that are not going to care about being in touch with the feminine, that they're like so over masculine that they're like, look at this little idiot talking about the importance of being in touch with a feminine. What I would say is, I used to be one of those guys too. I used to be the guy that wanted to go to the gym to get big, to look good, to get girls, to have the hot car, the big house, and that's all I care. I was shallow. I was empty. And if any other guy feels remotely equal to what I'm saying, that you're sick and tired of never being good enough, you're sick and tired of never being big enough, never having an expensive car enough, never taking women out on expensive trips, none of that shit matters, man. What matters is what you have in your heart and how you can get in tune and use that beautiful feminine side that we have inside to connect with women. Because once you connect with women, it will blow your mind. Right now I have a partner that is such a beautiful woman. She has a heart of gold, and I would have never given her 2 seconds in the past, because you know what? She's not the trophy wife. She's not somebody that's like this beautiful blonde with big boobs, you know, and a huge body, a beautiful body. She's a normal human that has a beautiful heart. And I was able to get in touch with her because I understood her feminine. I was able to come and not worry about how fast could I get laid, how fast, you know, could she make me come, or how many orgasms I could give her. I was trying to work more into what type of heart this woman has, and this woman has a heart of gold. And I would have never been able to see that if I wouldn't understand my feminine side.
Doing that and then bringing that to the container of the relationship, like, it's magic. Yeah, it's deepened so much the connection, the intimate connection, for me with her, and yeah, sexually, but you know, spiritually, emotionally, like holistically.
And so, Mariana, how was it for you to be led in a group of men by 2 women? How was that? Because I know a lot of guys will say like men need to be led by other men. So how was that for you in this container?
I'm gonna be honest. It was hard at first, for 2 reasons. Number one, I already am in a group of men that we get together and we talk once a week, and it's always like men need men to understand about men, and women don't understand men. That's why we need men. So that was my first, I don't know how I can trust women to lead me since they don't have a penis. They don't understand, you know, what we go through.
Yeah, I think it's super important for men to have other men to, as the group I'm part of says, like iron sharpens iron. And it's easier for men to hold each other accountable without like too much emotion getting in the way. But it's so helpful to have women, the feminine, be able to show men that they can be vulnerable and they're not going to be ridiculed or shamed or put down or looked upon as being weak.
And I think a reminder of why it works, why I believe it works. You know, I think if it was 2 men who had put the circle together, I could imagine the conversation and the content would be very, very, very different, and it wouldn't touch where it needs to touch. And where it needs to touch is our, or again, I won't generalize, my inability to connect with anything feminine, you know, because I had, you know, a skewed view of what that looked like, you know, from being from my feminine not protecting me when I was young to then being overprotective. I never got the middle ground of just understanding what it meant to, you know, honor a woman or to love a woman or what a woman, you know. I'm 46 years old, like, you know, no regrets, but man, if I'd have known that when I was 22, 25, like, man, I would have been a killer.
In this space, there was this group of different men from all around the world with each their own stories and their own history and their own problems, and giving them the space and the freedom, as well as the sense of you still belong here if you share yourself. You won't be for granted. You won't be forsaken if you shared it.
And these 2 beautiful women have given me the tools. That's the best way I can explain it. I've gotten the tools to understand how I can love myself. That's another big point. I didn't understand how to love myself from the female side. I understood how to love myself from the male side, doing male workshops and male groups. But on the female side, men don't talk about female. We don't talk about female things or drama things with our mothers. We do father dramas, but we don't do mother. And if you really truly want your heart to like connect, you've got to put in the female side of things. And these two lovely ladies have done an amazing job to guide me and another 8 brothers that I have, and we still talk to this day, to really get deeper in our soul and want more out of life.